Writing Skills, a report prepared by Group 4.
Good day everyone, I am Nurjana Unting Sulaiman and I am the first reporter that is assigned to discuss about writing skills. What is writing skills? Writing is the process of using symbols such as letters of the alphabet, punctuations, and spaces to communicate thoughts and ideas in a readable form. So, we use writing to communicate, express our thoughts and ideas in readable or writing form. Writing allows for a more meaningful, in-depth transmission of ideas compared to speaking. It also allows you to communicate precisely what you want to say or refine your ideas. Most of the people rely on writing because they cannot express themselves in a way of speaking, so it is better for them to write. Generally, we write using a pen or pencil or a keyboard. With a pen or pencil, we usually write on a surface such as a paper or whiteboard. A keyboard is normally attached to our typewriter, computer, or mobile device. So we all know that we are using pen or pencil in writing or keyboard to type what we are trying to convey. Especially now that we are in a modern technology, writing on a keyboard gives an easier or help us a lot to make our work easier. It can give us a better results. So most of the students can relate to this because now students prefer to first type their assignments on their phones, laptops, or any gadgets that they have before writing them down on paper, making sure that their ideas will not vanish from their mind. Am I right? And also, others like the shy type person are more comfortable in writing because through this, they have a freedom to write their feelings and everything that they wanted to write. Writing is the fourth of the four language skills, which are listening, speaking, reading, and writing. In our own language, writing is usually the fourth language skill that we learn. So the four macro skills are what we need for successful communication. So why writing is the fourth of the four language skills? It is because since first or at the beginning, babies develop language skills by first listening and then speaking, followed by reading and writing. When learning a new language, the best way to do so is by engaging in balance of each of these areas, as they are all interconnected because the skills that aren't practiced will end up being weaker. To write clearly, it is essential to understand the basic system of a language. In English, this includes knowledge of grammar, punctuations, and sentence structure. Vocabulary is also necessary, as is correct spelling and formatting. So it is essential since it is the tools that writers use to communicate their ideas clearly to readers and for them to take your message seriously. If it cannot be applied, the readers might misunderstand what the writers are trying to express or communicate. A writer may write for personal enjoyment or use or for an audience of one person or more. The audience may be known, targeted, or unknown. Taking notes for study purposes is an example of writing for oneself. So it is for our own good naman why we need to take note, especially in a class. It helps us to pay attention and focus in a class. And it helps us a lot sa mga paparating na quizzes or exams because how can we study kung hindi tayo magte-take down notes? And taking notes can help the students to retain, analyze, and ultimately remember and learn what you have read. Blogging publicly is an example of writing for an unknown audience. In blogging, the readers are unknown, so when you post your blog and websites, you will know if people are reading your blog if they are leaving comments at the end of posts or it gets shared and discussed on social medias and etc. A letter to a friend is an example of writing for a targeted audience. Why? because your targeted audience is your intended audience and the readers that you want and expect to read your letters. So these are the people you are designing your letter for. In addition, audience should understand everything you write on that letter. So with speaking, it is important to consider your audience when writing. Because knowing your audience help you to make decisions about what information you should include, how you should arrange that information, and what kind of supporting details will be necessary for the readers to understand what you are presenting. There are many different styles of writing, from informal to formal. So sa informal and formal is that in informal, your audience are the people you know, such as family, friends that can make jokes or etc. Or any person for personal communication and uses a casual or an emotional tone. Informal naman is written for businesses or professional purposes with specific objective in mind. So that will be all, and the next reporter will be Janadine Lagyalang.
Good day everyone, so I am Janadine Lariba Lagyalang, the second reporter of writing skills, which is the fourth skills of language. So, we are already aware what is writing. In the discussion of Ms. Nurjana Sulaiman, it was stated that writing is a process of communication that uses letters, punctuations, and spaces. So, now, I, Junadine Lagyalam, together with Mr. Gerardo Balbon, will discuss the 7 writing tasks for young ESL learners. Why is it important? Simple, to train and hone the young learners in terms of how to express their thoughts, feelings, and emotion, and to share information by using this language skill. We need to let them learn this because a simple misuse of punctuation can cause a miscommunication already. The first activity that we have is word jumble, an important and useful activity for learners that are newbie or who have just started in writing English. In this activity, you can give unarranged words that are complete and in line with their levels for them to be able to learn the proper and correct construction of sentences. In this activity, they may able to discover patterns of sentence structures unconsciously. For this activity, you, as a teacher, can divide your students into small groups of 3 or 4 or even pairs. Next, give them a set of cards containing words that can be used to form a sentence. These words are jumbled and in wrong order. Afterwards, let them write these words in a sheet of paper. The second activity is what happens next. Give students the first sentence or beginning of a story and ask them to complete the story. To make it fun, they can be given funny or even ridiculous sentences or situation. For example, it was a clear, starry night when the cow jumped over the moon. Or Michael opened his sock drawer and all his socks had disappeared. So for this activity, it can help the students to improve their artistic thinking and can help them as well to apply and practice their vocabulary. By using fun and attention-captivating sentences, it can build an interest for young learners because it let their minds become playful. Just like what I said, the creativity or artistry can be developed on it. In addition, it makes them understand how sentences has a relationship and how it affects towards another sentence. The third activity that we have is what is happening in the picture. This is a simple writing activity where you show students an illustration and ask them to write about what they see. Illustrations that show a lot of things happening at the same time are great for this activity. Student can choose or even create a small story that revolves around the whole scene. It is more on self or personal understanding about what they see. Some students has a wider analysis or can create wider context by just eyeing into a piece of picture. These people are intuitive and observant. In another hand, there are people who translate the message in the picture in a literal manner. If there is a ball, it is a ball, no other meaning. Which means that it is not about the structure of sentences. Instead, it helps the students as well to polish their skills and how they can process and showcase their thoughts by using words and sentences. As a teacher, to deal with different type of learners, you can give an idea or insight about the picture. By that, they will not be lost along the way. The fourth activity that we have is the story with the twist. So this is a great post-reading writing activity. After the reading, ask your students to change the ending. So reading a story is quite exciting. It helps the learners to have wider imagination about different things. By that reason, you can give an activity where you will read a well-known classic or a story that is something new for them. Let them change a few details or even change the outcome so that they can be creative in using the English language or even another other language. The remaining three tasks will be tackled by Mr. Gerardo Balbon.
Hello everyone, I am Gerardo Balbon Jr., the next reporter, and also to continue the 7 writing tasks for young English as a second language learners. Number 5, let's write together. This is a classic writing activity when you have a large group of young English as a second language students who don't feel confident enough to write an entire story on their own. Okay, in this picture, this book features short stories written by a winners of the Let's Write Together contest for young written in 2015. Kaya mapoprove natin that those activities is very effective for our young learners. This is a great task to promote cooperation and collaboration among students. Also, since each one will be completing a part of the text, they will have to make choices regarding text structure and also decide if they need to start a new paragraph. Number 6, yummy writing. Give or show students a series of pictures that illustrate how a dish is prepared. The pictures should show the series of steps involved in a recipe, but students have to write the instructions that go with each picture. And this time I have a picture of dishes and how they prepare. This is what I am talking about, like sauteing garlic and etc., and how to make an adobo. And thank you for listening in my vlog. I'm just kidding. This is a great activity to practice imperatives and also how to give instruction. Number 7 and the last one is what's missing. Give students a text. It can be an email, a report, a newspaper article, or even a story. A part is taken out and students have to complete it with the missing information. Of course, they will completely make up what is missing. The important thing is not for the information to be accurate, but coherent with the rest of the text. This time I have showed you some pictures of the activity what's missing. Missing someone is not a example. This one. Twinkle Twinkle, we know the song Twinkle Twinkle, and we know that there is a blank that we need to complete. This is a good or easy example for the young learners. Writing can be hard for young English as a second language learners. It's hard enough in their native language, but don't make the mistake of discounting that it is too hard. Instead, give them a nudge or prompt and a little support. Whether it is through the first word or image that go with the text, you will boost their confidence and make them happy little writers. Thank you so much for listening in my report. And also, I have to remind you, let's write now. Again, I am Gerardo Balbon Jr., your reporter.
Good day, everyone. I am Yanela Bahamondiakla, and today we will discuss 12 or 4 of the simple tricks to make writing fun. The first trick that we are going to discuss is the use of stickers. You don't have to limit your sticker use to marking a job well done. So, to make writing fun and to be able to get your students' interest, we should use stickers that will serve as their motivation to write what's on their minds. So, we can use stickers in writing, like for instance, we will show them different stickers like animals, trees, fruits, and etc. Depending also on their knowledge level. So, kapag nagsusulat, dapat madaming kinukonsider. Since you can't write when you don't have anything at all. Pupwede din you collect lots of stickers, then put it in a box and let the student pick, and whatever stickers they may pick, they have to make something about it. Like for example, kung pusa ang nabunot, ay kailangan nilang sumulat ng patungkol sa pusa. Lahat ng ideas ay dapat naroroon. And lastly, maaari ding as a group activity upang mas interesting, mauunang sumulat ang isang estudyante, ipapasa sa katabi hanggang makarating sa dulo. Nang sa ganon, lahat ay makagawa at makakapagbigay ng pangungusap o explanation sa stickers na ibinigay. Using stickers is really a great help to make writing fun. Now let's proceed to the second trick. Do it as a class. Do write common stories with your ESL students. If not, you should. Working together gets individual creativity flowing, and what we create with others is often far more than we could do to ourselves. You or we as a teacher also needs to work together with our students. In order for us to get their interest, we must also show them our interest in writing. On the other hand, a teacher may start one sentence of a story and will make her students finish it. With that, everybody has write what's on their mind, ideas, thoughts, and feelings. That's also a one way to engage the students in writing and will surely catch their attentions. Or it can be a by pair activity wherein you can ask or task two students to make a short story, or it can be a vice versa. The third trick is the read or reading. Reading is one of the greatest way to inspire writers in your class. So in order for us to write something, we must definitely start reading. Read, read, and reread. Because it may help you not just to enhance your vocabulary, but also your writing skill. The more you read and hear stories, the more you get ideas how to do it. Like for example, a teacher may read a short story or a poem in front of the class. It will serve as their guide in writing upon reading a poem or a story aloud in front of the class. They'll be able to grasp knowledge about making a writing, may it be like the story you read or depending on how they want it. Surely, those students who are good in writing will definitely excel. The last trick is give creative inspiration. When you take time and effort to inspire your writers, it is sure to show in their writings. Teacher may create a scene, may draw a picture, collect images and or interesting photos, or teach them appealing vocabulary. Then you may ask your student to use what you have given to make, for example, a poem, opinion, and whatsoever. This may help your students' creativity to develop and may enhance their writing skill. Eventually, you will see your students excel in being creative.
Number 5. Let mistakes go. Letting students make mistakes and not correcting them may go against the nature of the ESL teacher. But sometimes not saying something is the best policy. When students are overcorrected, they can become discouraged or fearful of writing. So, as a teacher, especially we are a future educator, one of our responsibility or obligation in our students is to make them aware and correct them of their mistakes. So, but sometimes one of the best policy is we don't need to say something. Why? Is it because kapag ang isang estudyante is masyadong na-judge or na-correct is parang nagiging discouraged sila or natatakot na magsulat. So, try something pre-writing or give your students permission to write freely in a journal. Make sure they know you won't be correcting for grammar or spelling. Then have students use that they wrote as a starting point for a more formal piece of writing which you will then correct. So, one of the best example of this trick which is let mistakes go is letting your student first to write freely in a journal. So, in terms of that, they can write all they want. So, but first, make sure that they know that the teacher won't be correcting for grammar or spelling. So, para hindi sila matakot na magsulat. So, kapag natapos na nila yon is sa sunod naman is dun ka na magsisimula na magsulat na ng mga formal piece of writing. So, yung unang ginawa nila is parang magiging yun yung practice nila or yun yung naging starting point. Number 6, show them off. Recognize good writing in your students in front of their peers to inspire the writers among you. You might want to read particularly good writing to the rest of the class with the author's permission, of course. Try publishing books of your students' writing and then putting them on display in your classroom. Your bragging might be something as simple as stapling what your students have written to a bulletin board in your class or displaying them in the hallway of your school. When your students feel proud of what they have written, it will inspire and encourage them to write more. So, in these tricks, the teacher will recognize students which good in writing. So, magpapakita siya ng mga sample na famous na mga written kung saan magiging sample yun ng mga student. So, student will write what they want and then after that, the teacher will recognize which students is good in writing. So, para mas ma-encourage or ma-inspire pa yung student na gumawa pa ng mga sulatin is the teacher will publish the teacher can publish their papers or the output of the student in their school papers, and also they can put it or display it in their classroom, or it can also display in the hallway of your schools. So, when the students feel proud of what they have written, kasi nga yun, parang pinapakita mo na magaling sila sa ganito, ganyan, sa writing. So, it will inspire and encourage them to write more. Number 7, give them inspiring tools. Did you ever have a pen that wrote in 4 different colors? If you had one as a kid, you might have done what just about every other kid did. Write one line with each of the colors and rotate through the page. You can give your students creative inspiration in a writing center of your classroom, even if you don't have 4 colored pens for the entire class. On a space desk, set out several different colors and types of paper with colored pen and pencils. include pencils and markers that are scented as well. You may find that your students write just so they can use different types of paper or color pen. So in this trick, to make writing more fun, the teacher will give students an inspiring tools, like for example, giving them a different pen with different colors or papers with different colors. So in terms of that, the students will be more excited or inspired to participate in different activities and also be more encouraged to write what they want. Number 8, illustrate. Some students become discouraged when they write because they just can't get their ideas across. Give them another avenue to communicate by asking them to illustrate their story or non-fiction piece. When students know they can include a picture to share their thoughts, their inability to express exactly what they want in writing becomes less of an obstacle. Your struggling writers know that they can include important information in their picture, and it won't be a total loss if they can't find the right words to put their ideas into writing. So in these tricks, the teacher will let students to illustrate what they are trying to say or their ideas. We can avoid or we can't avoid that there is an instances that some student they can't express exactly what they want in writing. So the students can illustrate it instead. Like for example, by drawing or putting picture. So in terms of that, the student will not struggle and discourage anymore.
So number 9, make it real life. Some students get frustrated when they are writing for writing's sake. Help this student by giving them a purpose for what they are writing. Have them write letters, thank you cards, emails, or other pieces they will have a use for real life. If you like, let them mail the letters and cards to their classmate in classroom, mail center, or through the US mail. So, writing is helpful because it allows you to express ideas through writing words to make it real life. To get the most out of writing, create a letters that will help you to improve your skills to write. If you're going to write every day, maybe your writing will improve easily. So, number 10, be a model. If you want your student to have a fun while writing, be sure to model your own writing for them. Let them see you write while they do and share what you have written with them. Students who write well usually have teachers who write well also. So as a teachers are the model of learners. They are the one who can teach their student and everything, especially writing skills. If your students are not able to know how to write, just teach them through your own to share your ideas. Be responsible of your student because what they see in you is what they do. So the next is keep a writer's notebook. A writer's notebook is a great place for your student to collect ideas and get creative. You can direct students to particular exercise in their writer's notebook or let them come up with the ideas or their own. Then, when it's time to write, student will have a notebook full of ideas from which they can draw ideas and inspiration. To improve writing, as a teachers, when you are teaching, make your student write their diaries in everyday lives just to collect their experience, feelings, and emotion. Writing is a part of exercising your hands movement, but especially your improvement of your creative writing. Writing diaries are helpful. You can make a secret notebook on your own to keep it. So number 12, have fun teaching writing. The most effective tool you have for bringing fun to writing for your student is to have fun while teaching it.
If you appreciate the value of what you are teaching and are enthusiastic about it, your student will be too. So, when you are teaching, just let your student to give fun moment while doing their activity. Students are happy when the teacher is funny person. Let your student be happy for a while, but not necessary because we have students that they abuse your personality. And that's all. Thank you.